Yes, my people, how we doing? Darren here for the YouTube channel. It's Darren here, by the way, Darren Bent. This video is going to hurt. Going to really hurt. I feel like shedding a tear. This video is going to be filled with regret because we're going to look back at some of the... I'm going to call this part one because we're going to look back at some of the sneakers I decided to sell and I wish I hadn't. People knows I've been collecting sneakers for a long, long time, and there was a period where I had pretty much everything. I'm talking about all the high-end stuff you see now. Back from the early 2000s, I had it, and I let it go, and it still to this day pains me. So I'm going to do it in fives, but this is going to be part one, and I'm telling you now it's going to hurt because I still think about it now. I still see certain shoes pop up and think, I can't believe I let them go. What was I thinking? There's some nice stories behind them as well. But yeah, I'm not even gonna mention some of the ones I've let go. I'm just gonna do part 1 5, and then we'll do another 5 a little bit later on. But I'll start with this 5 because these ones were powerful. These ones are tough, and this one's gonna hurt. So let's start with number 1. So the first one that absolutely pains me is another Air Max 1. It was released in 2005. They say that 24 pairs were released. It was the Albert Hine Air Max 1. Obviously, it was designed after the supermarket chain Albert Hine, designed by Para. Honestly, it hurts me to this day. Probably the rarest Air Max I've ever had. Absolutely loved it. The story in itself was crazy. Because I had to send one of my friends over to Holland to pick it up, so to the Netherlands, should I say, to pick him up and bring him back for me. So he'd probably tell you that story, or Mr. James Else. But it was a shoe that I chased for a long time, and I think I finally got them. I want to say in 2009. I don't think I got them in 2005. I had to pay a premium to get them, but once I chased them down for ages, managed to get them. But what a shoe they were. As I said, probably the most rarest of shoes I've ever had. Would definitely go into one of my favourites, and why I sold them to this day, I don't know. Actually, I do know. I can remember it. It was a day where I went into the loft, started going through some of my boxes, and I saw that the soles were turning yellow, and it just put me off. And at that time, it was a bit of a transition in life with kids and things like that, so I decided to start parting ways with them. But there are a pair that you never ever see them come up. I think I saw a pair come up the other day, and someone offered me them for £19,500. Now, when I sold them, I didn't sell them for anywhere near as much as that. But yeah, I'm gutted. Not a day goes past where I don't miss that Air Max 1. As I said, maybe not the best colorway with the orange and the blue, and the crown on the tongue, but still an iconic shoe, and one of the rarest Air Maxes. You just don't see them ever pop up, and I don't think I'll ever see a pair again. And I'm not paying 20 grand for a pair, that's for a fact, even though that's probably the going rate. I'm not paying for a pair of those. So yeah, the first one that really, really stings me, and I mean stings me, is the Albert Hine Air Max 1. Another one that really hurt me, released in 2007, was the Homegrown State Magazine Orange. Absolutely, I'm telling you now, I love this Air Max 90. Another Tinker Hatfield special. When I got hold of mine, I absolutely loved them. I think I wore them a handful of times. I had them in supreme condition. I absolutely loved them as well. Air Max 90 again. I prefer Air Max 1s, but these were beautiful. You remember the green pair as well? The green pair which I had, I sold them as well. But selling the orange pair hurt me even more because I had to fight to get them. The green pair, I think I had 3 pairs of the green, but the orange had 1 pair. I looked after them, and I had to sell them. And I think I paid about, I want to say I paid about $1,500 for them. That sounds a bit low, so it might have been more than that. But when I sold them, I think I sold them for pretty much double that as well. If you can remember, my Instagram was Mr. UK 10. I sold absolutely everything on there. I think that's where I sold the Albert Hines and a lot of my stock on. Again, I wish I'd never created that Mr. UK 10 because I would love to have all them shoes back. But yeah, that Air Max 90 Homegrown State Magazine, I absolutely love them. They are an absolute classic Air Max 90. Tinker Hatfield, I salute you, my friend. And yeah, they're a pair that I regret. So yeah, they'd probably be number 2 on the list. This list is so painful, honestly, so painful. The next one on the list was when Kanye was doing absolute big bits with Nike. The Red Octobers. I've got the Platinums, they're over there. We saw the black, I think they were called the Solar Reds, I think some people called them, but the Red Octobers, I mean, you're seeing some pairs now go for 55 grand. I didn't sell mine for anywhere near that. Came out in 2014. I remember it was in a concert, I think I saw Kanye's first start wearing the Red Octobers. The world went nuts for it, and fair play to Kanye. He had the Nike kind of collabs on lock. Loved them. Don't know why I got rid of them. Again, I told I went for a transition where I just was starting a family and all that, and I thought it was just time to go. But honestly, it was because my son was born. My first son was born in 2014. So obviously that's where a lot of this kind of coincides. But then Red Octobers, it really hurt me to sell them because at one stage I probably had every Kanye Yeezy that had ever been released. And I'm talking back, I mean, I can't even go through all the models that he had, but certainly all the 6 Nike ones that he released. The Red Octobers were kind of the last piece of that jigsaw, but I sold them. It hurt me to sell them. I think I sold mine for about $6,500. I bought mine for retail. I got mine from End. I think End Clothing were doing it at the time. I got mine from End. But now, as I said, you won't find a pair of Red Octobers for under £20,000. It's absolutely bonkers. But that's the way the sneaker world's going at the minute. I don't think kids nowadays necessarily care about Kanye West and Yeezys and Red Octobers. I think they're all about the Travis Scotts and things like that, Jordan 1s and Jordan 4s and 3s and all this. But no, them Red Octobers hurt me again when I sold them. So, yeah, unfortunately, they're number 3 on the list. This list keeps getting worse and worse. This one, I'm telling you now, this one, I know I've said it for the last 3. The next 2 that you're going to see, these 2 really, really hurt me. Now, I think they came out in 2002, I believe. And they are the Nike Dunk Low SB Paris. Had a pair of those, dead stock. I think I paid about £8,500 for them, sold them for 25. I saw a pair go the other day for £93,000. It hurts. Again, a shoe that I wore maybe once, I think, or twice. I got them dead stock, and I couldn't believe I got them dead stock. And to this day, I can't even remember where I got them from. That's the beauty of it. I don't remember whether I got it from America and shipped over. I think it was a shop in Philadelphia that I got them from. But I remember checking the post every day. And these were, if you think about it, when I got these, so I think I got the Paris Dunks around 2010. I think I got mine maybe before that. You got to think these times, this is way before COVID. So these weren't the times where the delivery driver could just, obviously drop the shoe outside your front door in a porch somewhere and leave. If they knocked on the door and you didn't answer and sign for the package, they took it back to the depot. So I had to make sure that when these came in, I was in, or someone was in to take delivery of this shoe. Because the Paris Dunk, I mean, you're talking about one of the most iconic SBs ever. By the way, everyone would love to have a pair of these. You talk about the Freddy Krugers. I can hold my hands up. I've never owned a pair of Freddy Krugers. I wish I had, but I don't have a pair. But having these Paris Dunks, oh my goodness. In my opinion, the greatest dunks ever. The greatest dunks ever. Really, really limited. Mine were in perfect condition. As I said, I'm sure I paid about £8,500 for mine. Sold mine for 25. Now, a lot of people are probably thinking, what an investment that is. You've bought a pair of sneakers for £8,500 and sold them for 25. But when you see nowadays, and who was I to know 10 years later it was going to go for even more than that? But to see a shoe go for £93,000, I think in some websites they're $100,000. It's absolutely bonkers. But the Paris Dunk, really, really nice shoe, comfortable as well. I think I might have worn them to one sneaker event, and that might have been Crep City, maybe. But I can't quite remember. But having those sneakers, they were incredible, and I sold them. But listen, that's life, unfortunately. So yeah, coming in number 2 at this list would have to be the Paris Dunk Low SB. And the last shoe, last but not least, at number 1, is a shoe that I went on a pre-season tour to Philadelphia, and I can't remember what the sneaker shop was called, but it was fantastic. I bought loads from these guys, and I built up a relationship with them. I think I bought about 6 or 7 pairs while I was on pre-season, shipped them back to the UK. I was at Fulham Football Club at the time, and I get a phone call. The pre-season I'd been at Villa, but I'd spent, obviously that was the end of that season. I went on loan to Fulham. I get a text message from one of the guys in the shop. Have you got money burning a hole in your pocket? Because I've got something special that you might want. I said, yeah, hit me. What is it? He said, a dead stock pair of Undefeated Jordan 4s. I said to him, how much do you want for them? He said to me, well, we're about to put them up on our website for £8,500. If you want them, come and get them. I jumped at the chance. I sent them the money straight away to buy them. Absolutely, you talk about one of the most iconic shoes ever. So limited, it's crazy. Again, I saw a pair, I think on StockX not long ago, go for £100,000. They came out early 2000s again. What a shoe. Again, that shoe probably hurts me more than the Paris Dunk, because Jordan, I prefer Jordan, the Jordan brand, over a SB Dunk. But I sent him the money straight away. He sent me the shoes. It took about a week to come. I remember getting the phone call that I actually put in the training grounds address to get them shipped to, because I know someone's there 24/7. We came back from an away game. They were there waiting for me. I checked them out. I couldn't believe I had them. What a shoe. again, this weird period that I went through, transition, ended up selling them in a car park for £20,000. It might have been 25 actually. A guy flew over from Paris to buy them from me. This is not a guy that I'd known before. I'd been speaking to him for a while on Instagram, and he was like, listen, I need them shoes. What else have you got in your collection? And he flew over with a rucksack full of cash, and he bought the Undefeated Jordan 4s for me in a car park in Birmingham for £25,000. Again, I saw the same shoe going for 100,000. It hurts me, but again, it's life. But them Undefeated Jordan 4s, the memories I've got in them shoes. What a particular shoe. I wore them once, and that was it. Never wore them again. Kept them in supreme condition, but I let them go. But again, what a list that is. And that is part one. I mean, I could go on. I'm not even going to give you any hints about any of the other ones I let go, but that 5 there. So if we recap that, you talk about the Undefeated Jordan 4s, the Paris Dunks, the Red Octobers. What was I can't even remember what was even first on the list. H was the first on the list. Albert Heijn was on there as well. And what was the other one, H? State Magazine. As I said, what a 5 that is. That's part one. There's going to be a part 2 coming soon. Listen, I need you guys to hit up this video and tell me what an idiot I've been for selling them. But listen, we move. It's life, unfortunately, at the end of the day, and these are the things happen. But make sure you hit me up in the comments and let me know if there's any trainers that you have bought and you've let them go because you've had to. It could be any kind of reason. I want to hear from you. Let's interact. Keep that engagement coming. Keep telling me what an idiot I am for letting them shoes go. Enjoy your evening. I'm not going to enjoy it now after I've done this video. Hit the like button. Smash that subscribe button. We want to keep growing the followers. Let's keep growing as a family. Enjoy your day. Stay safe. Peace.